The planet was dead. All around there were broken ships, rusted metal, and silence. A heavy orange sky covered the land. Wind moved the dust across the junkyard like ghosts from the past. Jocks was alone. He was a human scavenger. Every day he searched old crash sites on forgotten planets. He looked for metal, power cells, or anything he could sell. He didn't care about the past or what happened in the war. He just wanted to survive. He walked slowly, his boots crunching over broken glass and wires. His scanner beeped softly, showing a weak energy signal nearby. Jocks followed it, hoping for something useful. Then he heard it, a small voice, weak, trembling. Please ... take me, and mama ... Human. Jocks froze. He looked around quickly. Nothing but junk ... He waited ... Silence. Again he shook his head. I must be tired, he said to himself and continued walking. But then he heard it again, ... double quotes, please ... take me and mama. Human. This time he knew it was real. Jakes turned fast, scanning the area with his flashlight. The voice came from under a pile of scrap. He moved closer, pushing metal aside. His heart beat faster. Was it a trap? He found a round pod, half buried under broken panels. The outer shell was cracked. One side had a small glass window. Inside he saw a small figure, a child, alien, blue skin. Big eyes, her face was dirty, her body shaking. She looked scared, but not dangerous. She saw Jocks and pressed her tiny hand to the glass. Double quotes, please ... help mama. Jocks's hands moved. On their own, he opened the emergency latch on the pod. The door creaked open with a hiss. The smell of old air hit his nose. The girl crawled out slowly, limping. One leg was hurt. She looked up at him, eyes full of fear and hope. You're human? She asked. Yes, Jocks said. I'm Jocks. I'm Seol, she said. Her voice was soft. Mama is still inside. Sleeping. I can't wake her. Jocks looked into the pod again. Another figure was inside. An adult alien woman, unconscious but breathing slowly. She was in stasis mode, alive but frozen. The pod's power light blinked red. It was dying. Jocks checked the panel. The system was damaged, but he could maybe move it with a power cell. He turned to his bag. Then he heard something else. A faint metal click. Jocks stood still. His soldier instincts kicked in. He slowly turned his head. In the distance, above a broken ship wing, a small red light flashed. A drone. It was watching him. Jocks grabbed the girl and pulled her close. He backed into the shadows of a nearby wreck. The drone hovered for a moment, then flew away fast. Troubled. He looked down at the girl. Who's looking for you? He asked. She looked down. Bad people. They want mama. They want me too. Why? I don't know. Mama said we had to run. Hide? Jocks sighed. This was not his problem. He should walk away, but her small hand was still holding his. Jacket and her eyes. He remembered another war many years ago. Another child he couldn't save. Not this time. He picked up the girl in one arm. We're going to my ship. Stay quiet. What about mama? She asked, her voice shaking. I'll come back for her, I promise. She nodded, tears in her eyes. As they moved through the junkyard, Jocks felt something deep inside. A fire. He thought was gone. He was just a scavenger. But today, he would be something more. Behind them, deep in the junk, a second drone activated silently. Its red eye blinked. It sent a signal to a faraway ship. Target found, start scene, the stars above. The junkyard began to fade as the first light of dawn touched the sky. But under the shadow of a dead cruiser, a small hand was drawing strange shapes in the dust. She sat on a cold metal sheet, her hurt leg wrapped in cloth. Her big eyes looked up at the sky, watching it like she was waiting for something. Or someone. Behind her, Jocks worked fast, connecting wires, opening power cells, and checking the old escape shuttle he had parked nearby. The shuttle was half broken, like everything else he owned. Do you always look sad? She asked without turning. Jocks didn't answer it at first. He glanced at her, surprised. I'm not sad, he said flatly. You look like the sky, she whispered. That made him stop. What do you mean? Empty. And full of lost things. He stared at her for a moment. Strange words for a child. You talk funny, he said. You listen funny, she smiled. Just a little scene transition. The shuttle was finally running, barely. Its engine gave a cough, then a soft hum. Jocks carried Sal inside and later. Gently on a seat, he returned to the pod where her mother still slept in stasis. The pod's power was almost gone. He opened a panel, placed a salvaged power cell, and crossed his fingers. The stasis system blinked yellow, enough to keep her alive a little longer. He closed the pod door and began to roll it toward the shuttle. Sweating with the weight, as he worked, Xiao touched a small bracelet on her wrist. It lit up with a soft blue glow. A hologram flickered to life, a woman's voice, calm but urgent. Hey Xiao, if you're hearing this, it means I've failed to protect you. Stay hidden, trust no one, especially not humans. But if a human saves you, maybe he's different. The hologram died? Xiao looked at Jocks. I think you are the different one, she said, inside the shuttle. As the shuttle lifted off slowly, Xiao sat near the small window. Her eyes reflected stars. Your mother, Jocks said. What was she running from? Xiao didn't answer right away. Then she spoke, her voice soft. She saved people. From the red ships, they burned whole cities, took children like me. Mama stole something from them, something they wanted badly. What? Xiao looked confused. I don't know. She said it was in my blood. Jocks turned sharply. Your blood? She nodded. That's why they want us. Sudden twist, an alert beeped. The shuttle screen flashed red. Tracking signal detected. JAX cursed. They tagged the pod or me? He moved fast, switching to manual flight. We need to disappear. Sal held on as the shuttle dove into a meteor field nearby, using the rocks as cover. Behind them, two dark ships appeared from hyperspace. Sleek, silent. Like hunting birds, the chase had begun. Emotional moment. As the ship shook from rough flying, Sal whispered, Will they catch us? Jocks answered, not looking at her. Not today. She leaned closer. Why are you helping us? You don't know me. Jocks' jaw tightened. Maybe I don't want to be the man who walks away again. There was a long silence. Then she said, You're not like the others. He didn't reply, cliffhanger ending. Just as they exit the meteor field, the ship's system picks up a coded signal, not from the hunters, but from an old human military satellite. Jocks frowns. That satellite should have been offline for years. He opens the signal, static, then a voice. Project Eden, genetic asset located, prepare extraction. Jocks' face goes pale. He looks at Sal. She's not just a child. She's something far more dangerous, or far more important. Start scene. The stars were silent, but silence did not mean safety. Out in the dark, beyond the meteor field, two ships floated like sharks. Smooth black hulls, no lights. Inside them, no voices, no crew chatter, just machines. One of the ships opened its eye. A red scanner pulsed once. Target locked. Inside the shuttle. Jocks was fixing a loose panel near the control deck, but his hand paused mid-turn. His eyes narrowed. The screen flashed. Shadow-class vessels detected. Distance, 3,400 kilometers and closing. Damn it, Jocks muttered. Sahal peeked from the back of the small shuttle, her arms wrapped around her knees. Are they the ones? She asked. Yes, Jocks replied. And they don't knock before coming in. He pulled a switch, shutting. Down outside lights. The ship dipped quietly into the shadow of a nearby asteroid. Cut 2. Enemy ship interior. One of the bounty hunter ships, all black metal and glowing circuits, showed two figures, not human. Their skin was gray. Their eyes mechanical. They wore black armor with the symbol of the Crimson Mandate, the secret force hired to do the Empire's dirty work. Target's biosignal confirmed, said one, voice robotic. Child and human both present. Orders? The other replied. Alive, if possible, but disposable. Back to Jocks and Sal. The chase begins. Jocks powered up the engines again, but not full throttle. Hold tight, he told Sal. Are we running again? She asked. No, Jocks said, pulling down a rusty lever. Now we're dancing. The ship burst from behind the asteroid. The two hunter ships turned in sync and gave. Chase scene. Tense and creative, Jox's shuttle twisted between rocks, dived into ice clouds, and flew through narrow debris tunnels, using the junk of space as a shield. He wasn't faster, but he was smarter. He'd flown in wars. These bounty hunters flew like machines, but they had better tech. A sudden blast rocked the shuttle. Sparks flew, Soph screamed. "We've got a breach!" Jock shouted, steering hard left. Behind them, one of the hunter ships deployed a tether drone. A sharp, spiked cable shot out. Aiming to lock the shuttle, Jax activated the junk cannon, a modified part blaster that threw raw scrap metal. The cable was cut mid-air by flying steel shards. Jock smirked. Old trash still has value. Mid-chase emotional moment, Sal was crying quietly. Holding her head, Jock noticed but didn't say anything for a second, then without taking his eyes off. "The controls," he said. "Hey, I get scared too." She looked up, surprised. "But you don't stop," she whispered. "I stopped once," he said, his voice low. "That's why I'm not stopping now." Sudden twist. Just as they near a wormhole jump gate, a third signal appears on the scanner. Not a hunter. Not an ally. Something else. Old. Human design. An abandoned military ship. Still running. Jox's face went cold. He recognized the call sign. Eco 7, his own old squad ship from the war. "How?" he whispered. SIA looked at him. "What? Is it? Something that should have died a long time ago?" The bounty hunters paused too, scanning the new ship. Then Eco 7's weapon systems powered up on their own. Target. The bounty hunters. It fired. Boom. Cliffhanger ending. 1. Hunter ship exploded in flame. The other backed off fast. Jock stared at the screen, shocked. No one was flying that ship. No life signs, and then a message flashed on his comm. "If you're reading this, Jox, the girl is the last piece. Protect her." "You don't know what you're carrying?" Sal asked softly. "What does it mean?" Jox didn't answer because now he was wondering the same thing. Asterisk, start scene, flashback vision, not from Jox, but from cell darkness, then soft light. Flickering like candle flames, a woman's voice echoes gently. "You're not a weapon, Xiao. You're a light. Never forget that." Little Xiao stands in a warm room, holding her mother's hand. But the scene shakes, burns, and fades. Screams. Sirens, soldiers in red armor, her mother yelling, "Run!" The memory ends. Back to present. Inside Jox's shuttle cell jolts awake, breathing fast. She's in a makeshift bed on the shuttle. Jax is nearby, fixing a cracked panel, humming in a old Earth tune. He stops when he sees her. "Nightmare?" he asks. She nods, silent. He sits near her, tossing a small heat pack in her lap. "Warm this, you're freezing." There's an awkward silence, then she asks, "Have you ever lost someone?" Jock stares at the wall for a long second. "Yes," he says, "too many." "Did it change you?" He thinks again, then answers honestly, "It broke me." Scene shift. Exploring the old ship Echo 7 after the hunter attack, Jox decides to dock inside the abandoned military ship. Eco 7. Once his home in war, the ship creaks and groans as they walk through its rusted corridors. Echoes of footsteps, dust on controls, old blood on the walls. "This was your ship?" Seo whispers. He nods. "I left this place the day the war ended. It shouldn't even be here." Inside the command room, an old screen comes to life. A message plays. "To whoever finds this, she is not just an alien child. Her DNA carries Project Eden, Earth's last secret." Jock steps back, shocked. I stares at him. "What is Project Eden?" He doesn't answer because he doesn't know. Revelation through tech. Jock connects a portable scanner to check Sea's blood sample from earlier. He had taken it when healing her leg. What he sees confuses him. Human DNA, alien DNA, and something else. Encrypted code within the cells, not just hybrid.bio-engineered.program.s. I look scared. "Is something wrong with me?" Jock kneels down. "No, but something's very right with you, and that scares them." Emotional scene. Xiao opens up, later, as Jock repairs a wall panel. Xiao brings a small metal cube to him. "I've kept this since Mama gave it to me." "I was scared to open it." Jock examines it. The cube opens with Xiao's touch. A recorded message from her mother plays. To the human who finds my daughter, if you have mercy, protect her. She holds the key to a future your world once dreamed of. Not a weapon, a cure? Jox looks at her. Cure for what? Cial whispers, the Red Plague, they made it. To end us. Scene twist, a trap left behind as they prepare to leave Eco 7, an alarm sounds. JX shouts, it's a self-destruct countdown. Someone doesn't want this ship telling secrets. They run, alarms blare, lights flicker, red. SIA trips. Jox lifts her into his arms, the shuttle door closes just as Eco 7 explodes behind them, vanishing in a fireball of history. Closing moment, the past versus future as they fly away. Quiet fills the cockpit. JAX looks at Cial. She's watching stars pass by. Still holding the metal cube close, he says softly, you're more than they want you to be. She answers, you're more than you pretend to be. They both fall silent, but somewhere deep in the black, the red ships are listening. And they know where she is now. Opening scene. Jox's forgotten memory before the Junkyards. Before. The silence. There was blood. And a cry. Sir, she's just a child. Orders are clear, no witnesses. He had pointed a weapon once, at a child's head. But he didn't pull the trigger. That was the day Jox stopped being a soldier. Back to present. Inside the shuttle, Jox woke from the memory, not sweating, not shaking, just quiet. Like a man who's used to guilt. The ship drifted in the orbit of a frozen moon, its engines cold, hiding from all radars. Cial sat near the back, drawing circles on the foggy glass window with her finger. He walked over, offering her a protein bar. She took it slowly. You're quiet today, he said. You saw something bad. In your sleep, she replied. Jox blinked. You were watching me? No, I felt it. Scene shift. Inside the hidden medical bay, Jox finally took a risk. He connected the encrypted DNA sample from Cial to a very old, hidden military AI system he once stole. A system never meant to be found again. It powered on, its voice calm and cold. Biosignature confirmed. Asset 9A1. Human hybrid. Phase 3. Eden. Warning. Unauthorized development. Subject classified as unstable potential. Jox stared at the screen. So wasn't just a target, she was a forgotten human. Project from Earth emotional conflict. Cial walked into the bay. Is that about me? She asked. JX hesitated. Yes, she looked at the screen. Am I dangerous? You're powerful, Jox said carefully. But you're afraid of me now. He looked her straight in the eyes. No, he said. I'm afraid of what they'll do to you. And what they've already done. Moral dilemma. Message from the past. Suddenly, a video file opened. A woman in a lab coat, human, stared into the camera. This message is for any surviving Eden personnel. You created a child not for war, but for peace. But the brass wanted control? They wanted a god? We erased her records and hid her. If you found her, protect her. She is Earth's last hope and final sin. Cial turned away. Tears rolled down her cheek. So I'm not real? Jox knelt down beside her. You're the realest thing I've met in years. Scene shift. Tracking begins again back on a Crimson. Command ship, bounty hunter text received an automatic ping, a signal faint deep in space. An ancient Eden AI activated. The hunter commander grinned. They finally opened the box. He pressed a button, released the reclaimers. Far worse than bounty hunters. They didn't bring chains. They brought coffins. Scene twist. Cial's powers begin to awaken as Jox plots a new jump path. Cial's hands suddenly glow faintly. She gasps and clutches her head. Something's inside me, she whispers, the shuttle. Lights flicker, the eye system sparks. Jox runs to her, grabbing her shoulders. Cial, breathe. Focus. A burst of energy pulses through the ship, and for a second, the stars outside twist and blur, then silence, everything goes dark. JAX looks around. What was that? Cial, her voice shaking. I think I touched time. Cliffhanger ending. The ship's systems restart. A new star map loads. One that wasn't there before, coordinates Cial didn't know. But her body remembered. JAX stares at the screen. Where is that? Cial answers slowly. Home, not mine, yours. Opening scene. The enemy's ritual somewhere deep in a cold star system. Beneath a crimson-lit hall, a figure knelt before a machine. Metal wires pierced his back. Red fluid dripped into glass. The reclaimer was not born. He was built. A low voice spoke from above. What is your task? The reclaimer replied, calm and without soul, to retrieve the girl, to erase the man. To bury Eden forever, the voice whispered, and if they resist, then I become the end. Scene shift. Rebel station, Drift Point Theta. Jox's ship docked into the rotating rings of an outlaw station called Drift Point Theta, a halfway place for exiles, smugglers, and forgotten soldiers. No rules, just money and fear. Jax stepped out aside him in a cloak. She held his hand tight. The station lights flickered. They were being watched. Inside the rebel market told Wartech. Stolen parts. Pirate maps. Jax found an old contact, Lyra, a cybernetics dealer who once fought beside him. You look worse, she smirked. Still collecting lost causes? She's not a cause, Jox replied. She's a future. Lyra scanned Sayal, paused. You know what she carries, right? Now I do. Then you're already dead, Lyra said, tapping her head. But I like dead men who fight. Enemy arrives. All lights flicker. Red alarms. Began to scream. Not bounty hunters. Reclaimers. 4 armored figures in black and red dropped onto the station from stealth pods. No ships. No warnings, no mercy. One scanned the air, then whispered. They are here. People ran. Lyra grabbed a pulse rifle and tossed another to Jox. Take her below. You've got 5 minutes. Jox nodded and ran with Sal through the chaos. Mid-battle scene. Sal begins to glow again. They reached an old control room, trying to hack a locked gate. Sal's fingers twitched. Her eyes glowed faintly blue. Something's coming out of me, she said. Jax backed away slightly, unsure. She touched the wall panel. It opened instantly. She whispered, the station. It listens to me. Reclaimers breached the level 1 reclaimer. Found them. He stepped through fire and smoke, eyes like cold steel. Give us the girl. We'll let you die fast. Jox aimed his rifle. You've never met me, have you? He fired first. The blast hit the reclaimer. Did nothing. The reclaimer lifted his hand, ready to strike. Suddenly, a blast of light erupted from SIA. Boom. The reclaimer flew backward, crashing through metal. SIA stood there, glowing fully now, but her face afraid. I didn't mean to. Jox grabbed her hand. Doesn't matter. Do it again if you have to. Climax, escape, and sacrifice. They reached the core power chamber, the only path to a hidden escape route. Lyra was already wounded, bleeding but alive. I'll hold them, she said. Buy you seconds? Jox hesitated. You'll die, she grinned. Better here than rotting in shadows. Ciel turned to her, touched her hand. A pulse of energy flowed. Lyra's wounds began to close. Kid? Lyra gasped. What are you? Ciel replied softly. Hope. Final escape scene. Jox and Ciel launched out of the emergency tunnel, flying through debris in a small escape pod. Behind them, the station began to collapse. The reclaimers didn't scream. They didn't burn. They just stared as the pod vanished into hyperspace. Closing cliffhanger inside the escape pod. Jox held a map. The new coordinates Sehal had somehow unlocked. This place, it doesn't exist on any chart, he said. Sia leaned close and whispered. That's because it's not in space. It's in memory, Jox blinked. What? Ciel touched her forehead. That's where the truth is buried. That's where Eden really is. Asterisk opening scene. Inside a mind, not a place, no stars, no sky. Just white. Jax opened his eyes. He was standing in a vast blank space, like a dream, but he wasn't alone. Ciel stood in front of him, glowing softly. Around her, holographic echoes played, memories from Earth, from alien cities, from ships long lost. She whispered, This isn't space. This is Eden. This is where we hide what we're not ready to forgive. Jox looked at his hands. They were younger here. His scars were gone. Am I dead? He asked. I shook her head. You're remembering. Before we begin again. We must remember what was broken. Scene shift. The real world. Orbiting a dead world, the escape pod exited hyperspace above a forgotten planet, gray, cracked, silent. No records. No beacons, but Sal knew. This is where they built me. She said. Jock stared down, and where they buried the truth. They landed near a half-buried facility, covered in dust and time. Jock held his old rifle. Xiao wore no armor. Only calm. Inside Eden Core. Final revelation, the facility's AI still lived, barely. Lights flickered. Walls, HUMED.JA, forced open a vault door. Inside, tanks filled with failed hybrids, some human, some alien. All dead. SIA. Walked through the room like she already knew. They made many, she whispered, but I was the only one they loved. A projection played her mother, human this time, younger. To the one who finds her, she was not created to destroy. She was born to remind us what mercy looks like. She is not a weapon. She is the last memory of humanity's heart. Jock turned to Sal. You were never a mistake. He said. Climax. The final enemy arrives above the planet. A crimson dreadnought appeared, massive, silent. It's black. Flag rippling in vacuum. The Reclaimer Prime, the first of them. The one who led the purge descended to the surface. You cannot protect her, he said. Jax raised his weapon. Watch me. The fight began. Jock fought with everything he had, traps, tech, instinct. But he was just a man. The Reclaimer was something more. I stood still. Watching, Jock was knocked to the ground. The Reclaimer raised his blade. You were always weaker, he said. Jax smiled, bleeding. Maybe, but I never hurt children. Just before the blade fell, Xiao stepped forward. No blast. No scream. Just light. She placed her hand on the Reclaimer's chest and whispered, remember. He froze, his red eyes. Dimmed images flashed of war, of death, of what he once was. A human mind trapped in a machine. He dropped to his knees, then silence, ending scene. The Choice Eden's core pulsed. A voice spoke, the last AI of Earth. With her DNA, the war can end. But she must stay. Eden needs her to live. So looked at Jock. If I stay, I can make peace happen. But I won't see the stars again. Jock knelt beside her. You've already seen more than any star can show. He hugged her tight. Make it count. She smiled, tears in her eyes. I will. Final epilogue. Years later, a new world. A green world. Humans and aliens walk together. Children play. A statue stands in the center of a quiet square, a man in old armor, and a girl with light in her hands. A voiceover plays from an old recording. The human didn't save us because we were strong. He saved us because we were small, and that made him the biggest of all.